I really should have run up this hill on the side here, but it's too late for that now, so I'm just going to have to let my forces do their own thing. Hello Reformers, and welcome back to the custom character creation mod mini-series. Wow, yeah, that's quite a mouthful, isn't it? Anyway, we have a little bit of money here from being able to sell Jarl Turagor back to the Kingdom of Nords, and hopefully we're gonna see this become quite a trend with the Nord vassals, because I actually don't have a lot of money on me right now. I was actually heading back to my treasury at Tihr, and I thought to myself, oh yes, we're definitely going to need some money to upgrade or continue upgrading our forces. And as it stands, 1900 is pretty good to add to our treasury right there. So we do have a recruiter running around doing his thing. I'm currently in pursuit of Jarl Geirth, who was attempting to raid Yelbegi village, and we are not going to allow that, are we? No, we're certainly not going to allow it. So we are going to tackle him on the fields of battle. 148 against 94, and we have a pretty decent setup right here. I have quite a lot of cavalry, which is just, I think, just enough, you know, just the right number to have follow me, just a nice strike team, basically. And we also have this insane advantage when it comes to the mountain that we've just appeared on right here. So this is going to mean that our crossbowmen, if they are actually able to get over here in a timely manner, will have an absolutely wonderful time of things. Now, of course, because we do have a couple of cavalry that can use throwing weapons, they're not exactly great at it, as you can maybe see, but hopefully these guys are going to maybe prevent the enemy from advancing too much, because we are gonna, you know, we're gonna want to get those crossbowmen, as I say, into position. It seems like the infantry has arrived, finally. So we might be okay, we might be okay. Let's just tell our infantry to charge in, and hopefully our ranged units will do a good job. Okay, so now I'm going to need to be a little bit careful here, because, again, my horse is... I think my horse is crippled, actually. I might have to swap it out just so that, you know, my wound treatment can restore it to its former glory, basically. But, yeah, it seems like it is just, in general, extremely slow. It might be because I'm using it on this slight incline here, because... you know how horses can be. No, it is actually lame at the moment. Well, that's unfortunate. Maybe I can do a little bit of stabby. No, it seems like I'm not probably going to get the opportunity to do that, because, as you can see, I have a whole bunch of Nords coming in here. Okay, so there's my archers. Let's just place them a little bit further down. I'm being shot at from behind me, I guess. Yeah, there we go. There's the guy that's trying to shoot me. Are you serious? That guy all the way from over there is trying to attack me. Look at him. He's actually really good at firing, and he actually got me. Shot me in the leg. Did you see that? Shot me right in the leg where my shield wasn't. Well, that's not very nice, is it? Oh well, never mind. My forces will be able to clean this up, no problem at all. But you know what I'd say? I'd say that my death, and indeed my demise as a whole, was definitely caused by me having a overly slow horse, because that gave me much more opportunity for the enemy to kill me, basically. So yeah, that wasn't great. Now, the one thing that we do have to be very aware of in this mod is that you do not have control of your units after you die. Now, usually if there's an after death camera like there is right now, like with diplomacy and things like that, you know, then you are going to have the opportunity to do that. With the rare exception, sometimes mods choose not to include the, you know, being able to command your units. I guess it, I don't know, does it kill the realism? Does it kill the realism, maybe? You know, where the commander is still giving commands from, you know, his deathbed, basically? I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I personally find it much cooler if it has that kind of functionality, because, I mean, surely there's going to be some lieutenants or sergeants or something along those lines that are going to be around, and maybe they're going to help out the troops to organize them and make sure that they don't run around like headless chickens, or whatever the case may be. Anyway, as you could see right there, we actually only lost 2 units. Pretty nice. Killed 94, and we do get to take him prisoner, which I am going to do, thank you very much. I don't have any prisoner management right now, so we'll just have to continue taking units. Well, continue taking vassals and not actual units. Anyway, let's make our way over here. There's the recruiter gaining 1 unit from Yelbegi. I'm a bit worried that this guy is not actually even going to make it back to Tihr with the amount of units that he's getting right now. But there we go. The prosperity of Tihr has changed to average. Well, changed from average to rich. That's actually pretty good. I like that. And now otherwise, I actually don't even have that much space, as you can see. So I'm going to just have to sell the very small amount of loot that I have here. I'm actually going to sell... I think I'll sell everything, actually. And we'll sell a little bit of this food as well, because I don't need a huge amount of it. And getting a little bit of cash here and there is always a good idea. Let's get 14 new Reformian recruits. Now, I guess that's actually what the mod creators had in mind, because they obviously know that if you're going to start as a principality like we did in this series, then we are obviously going to have a bit of an issue with recruiting units. So, obviously that being an option in the town menu, that's pretty good, you know? That's a pretty nice way of going about it. So anyway, I checked out, I was just checking in the tavern just in case. There might be some mercenary units or maybe even some Reformian units, because we've actually seen that Reformian units are actually present there sometimes, which is actually pretty cool. Anyway, I don't exactly know what I should do now. I should probably go into the castle and we'll go and speak to not our Chancellor, not the Constable, the Chamberlain. And we will see, we have 17,000 in the Treasury. Very nice. I'd like to withdraw 5,000 of that for various means. I think you know exactly what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to upgrade my units. So let's get some more Marauders. And some Ravagers, some Snipers. We have 15 Snipers now, which is pretty awesome. I'd like to see many more Legionnaires and many more Destroyers, but it seems like they take... maybe a lot longer to level up, not entirely sure, but it seems like they are taking quite a while to level up. Anyway, yes, exactly. They are attempting to raid this village, and they want it to go down. They want it to go up in flames. They want it to go up or down either way, but yes, let's see if I can intercept these fellows. Now, the one thing that I'm really kind of sad about is that I did not buy another horse. So I guess I'm just going to have to deal with the lame horse, and maybe we'll have to go in with our infantry or something along those lines. But we're gonna do battle once again against a member of the Nords, and we'll see if we can take him prisoner. Now, bear in mind that I am probably not going to, as a result of this, be able to lead strike teams with our cavalry in tow to be able to actually do damage, and that's kind of a shame in my opinion. I would have much preferred to have a little bit more options when it came to the offense here, but it seems like that's not going to happen. So I'm probably just going to wait, actually. I think I'm just going to wait, because in general this is a pretty standard tactic for the Rhodoks. This is actually a really... wait a minute. Is that a river over there? That's a shame. Do you think I can actually make it over here before they cross? Maybe? Maybe? Yeah, I think we might be able to. I think we might be able to make it over here with our forces. And that's going to make everything absolute gravy. Wow, I don't even know why they're walking in. Why are they walking into the river? This is very strange. Okay. I won't give them too much tactical credit right now, because they're walking into the river, which is absolutely awful for their speed and generally positioning as well. You can see here that all of our archers are now arriving on the side here, and I'm getting shot as well. And yeah, it's not going well for them. Let's tell these guys to charge in, and we can actually tell our cavalry to charge in as well, because they actually have a pretty decent line of attack. And these crossbowmen are going to be absolutely devastating. They are not going to be able to do anything, because they chose to come up this riverbank. I don't exactly know why they did that, but oh well, never mind. The AI in Warband has never really been exceptional, unless you're, I don't know, playing with some specific mod or something along those lines that will make the AI a little bit better. And there goes his horse, and there goes him. Well, there we go. He died very, very easily. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that the Rhodoks will do. Whenever you're playing against the Rhodoks, I don't know whether you've noticed that, or playing with them, the vassals do tend And I'm not entirely sure whether this happens all the time, or maybe it was just bad luck on my part, because I was obviously against the Rhodoks. I don't think I've ever really helped them, with the exception of maybe one series. So yeah, having the Rhodoks perched on the top of a mountaintop or some kind of impressive hill somewhere, and then just having their crossbowmen slowly whittle you down. And that's exactly the reason why crossbowmen, in my opinion, are really, really good, because they do tend to use their ammo slower, which is just then drawing out their DPS and making it so that they are not going to be running out of ammunition too soon. And that's really cool in my opinion, because then they just stay relevant. You know, they stay relevant throughout the fight. And that's exactly what I was talking about in a previous episode when I said that crossbows, in my opinion, are a little bit better for the use that I actually want them for. Now, if you are going to go against, let's say, I don't know, Vaegier marksman or something along those lines, you're probably going to have a pretty bad time of things with crossbowmen, because they're probably going to get beaten in many aspects. Because the Vaegier marksmen, they fire faster, they probably, they might deal a little bit more damage, I don't know, it really depends, but obviously their DPS, their damage per second, is going to be much, much higher than, you know, crossbowmen. I mean, crossbowmen are generally just better in terms of their ammunition conservation as well as damage per shot, and maybe their accuracy might be a little bit better as well. It really depends, obviously, on the proficiency and everything. But there you go. We actually do get the opportunity to take this guy prisoner as well. Very nice indeed. Let's take a little bit of loot. And now, where's the other fellow? He ran off in this direction, didn't he? So let's see if we... Ah, hello there. You don't think you can escape me, Jarl Iria? Yes, I actually do want to maybe besiege something, but I'm not entirely sure what at the moment. Ooh, there we go. We're already getting paid. Very nice indeed. 3,400 dinars. That is great. Did he really go in here? I thought the Nords were at war against the Swadians, but apparently not. Oh, okay. He made an absolutely wonderful error, and it's a grievous error to him, but it's a fantastic one to me. So let's see if we can actually capture him, or shall we say just catch up to him, and then hopefully capture him. Anyway, he only has 61, but bear in mind that the main thing that we have to think about here is when we're engaging these vassals, we can't count them out, you know, we can't count them out. Even if they have 61, or even if they have 30, I mean, well, 30 might be a little bit too low, but if they have 61, and let's say half of them are Huskarls, which is highly unlikely at this point, but let's just say that they do, then they still have an amazing chance for them to come back and prove to us that they really do have what it takes to defeat a larger opposing army. And, I think I'm actually going to die here. I might die here. No, never mind. Okay. Yes, my crossbowmen totally have my back right here, which is really quite nice. And, yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that I don't have a blunt weapon at the moment. Although, it's also unfortunate I don't have any kind of prisoner management at all. So it is going to make things much, much harder for us to make any money, which is a big deal. And that's exactly the reason why I'm being a little bit more vigilant when it comes to protecting our villages and everything, because if we protect our villages, then it makes it so much easier for us to make money, because all the trade routes are being protected, and the town, which is the only town we have currently in our faction, is having a constant stream of money heading into it. And that's exactly the reason why tariffs and rents and all that sort of thing are very, very important in that regard. And it's also the same kind of thing in my native series as well, because a lot of people over the series have been like, how are you making so much money from that one town? That's how. You just have to make sure that the villages and all the villagers that are running around the countryside don't get attacked too easily. It's just making sure that your territory is secure, basically. That's pretty much it. And obviously the prosperity of the town also makes a huge difference. But anyway, that's just what I've observed over the time playing native, and considering this mod kind of has a similar feel to it, that's kind of what I assume is going on here. Anyway, alright, oh wow, we are getting an absolutely amazing amount of luck right here with the amount of chance percentage that we're having of taking these guys prisoner, because I've always had a really bad experience with that, where most of the vassals will manage to escape, whether I want, well, you know, whether I want to capture them or not. So it's kind of amazing. Anyway, it seems like they're doing the business on us now, aren't they? Yes, they are wanting to attack Tihr. And I'm gonna have to head back there. Unfortunately, Yelbegi was looted. They brought me quite far away, didn't they? I'm actually wondering whether they did that on purpose. See, now that's the thing. The AI is obviously playing a much deeper game, perhaps, than I am. And I'm just like, oh, I'll chase after that vassal, chase after this vassal, and so on and so forth. But maybe the AI is being a little trickier. Anyway, let's have a look and see what's actually going on here. Right. So King Ragnar is actually here, but he doesn't have anyone... Huskarl. He doesn't have any Huskarls. But yeah, that's probably going to make things much, much easier for us. So let's wait here for some time, and we'll see whether they decide to go forward with their siege. And there's another 2,400 dinars from Jarl Hyder. Never mind. Okay, seems like they ran away. They did run away, and Jarl Eärden, Lord Eärden, should I say, is now fielding 103 units. And as you can see, he's actually protecting a whole bunch of village farmers. I very much like him. I think he's a good guy. So hopefully we'll be able to give him further dividends, further contributions to his war effort, and we might be able to even take Kuren Castle. So let's actually head over there and see what's going on. Unfortunately, the recruiter? Really? How was that? How was that actually defeated? Because it was defeated near Fyhrr Castle. Oh, there seems to be someone near there. That's not very good. Well, yeah, as you can see here, these two villages have now been looted. Actually, these 3 villages have now been looted. So the next week's wages, that's going to be much worse in terms of profitability. So we got to be a bit careful with that. Alright, let's take a look at Kuren Castle, see what the garrison is like, and then maybe we'll be able to head in. Jarl Gunda. Jarl Gunda is in here. I don't exactly know whether we'll be able to do this. They don't have too many veteran archers, so it might... it might be doable, and we do have an engineering skill, just bear this in mind, of 5, which is going to make the amount of hours that we have to wait much less. But no, there you go. It seems to not be making too much difference at the moment, but bear in mind that the longer those villages stay looted, the worse it's going to get. And that's the reason why, you know, Tihr will get higher and lower, determined by obviously how much trade they have in their prosperity levels. So there's Kingdom of Nords giving me another 3,900, and this is exactly the reason why I think it's pretty fantastic to take them prisoner. And personally, I would say if you are playing this alongside me, or if you're thinking of playing it or have played it already and you just want to go back for another go, then I'd highly recommend, if you're going up against the first faction, unless you have like a huge amount of territory already by starting as a monarch and having your own faction already, you know, with multiple towns and everything, then I'd highly recommend taking every single lord prisoner that you can with the first enemy faction that you fight. Because when you're doing that, if you don't have a good amount of money from enterprises like I don't, then the ransoms are really going to make a huge difference to your stockpile of cash. And yeah, it's just a really good way of making a little bit extra. It's not going to save you in a in a pinch, because, you know, let's face it, sometimes you're just not able to take people prisoner, but it is going to give you that little extra buffer, which is pretty nice in my opinion. So anyway, I really should have run up this hill on the side here, but it's too late for that now, so I'm just going to have to let my forces do their own thing. And I'd like to actually get my cavalry over here. The Nords are going to be charging relatively soon, and this is not good, because they are very close to where we are, and maybe I can distract some of them, at least a little bit. Just bear in mind that I don't really have the opportunity to get my cavalry in here at a decent enough level. I mean, they are actually getting the height advantage as they move around us right here, which is really bad as well. But, well, I can't really do much about that either. They really did get good positioning on us. But that's okay. It's okay. Just means that our crossbowmen will have to aim a little bit higher, and that's it. So let's see if I'm actually able to do something here. I'd like to just try and damage people just a little bit. And I'd like to get some experience, obviously, as well, because we do need that wonderful, wonderful experience. As you can see, there's level 7. Very nice. They seem to be ignoring me. That's actually a good idea, because I'm not particularly effective. No, not at all. Alright, so I am going to take my cavalry up there. I don't know why the Nords are deciding to do this weird dance with us right now. And I guess I'm actually just going to charge my forces in right now, because if I don't, they're going to charge straight on top of our crossbowmen, which is exactly what they're doing. And our crossbowmen are going to be in melee. And while our crossbowmen are actually pretty good when it comes to meleeing people, I would much prefer them to do the business with their ranged combat, because they have much more proficiency in crossbows than they do in one-handed. So yeah, let me just see if I can do a little bit of extra damage here and there. Yeah, I am actually getting a couple of kills, but you can see here that now everyone has charged in. We seem to be mopping them, you know, pretty easily well. And hopefully that's going to mean another prisoner. Yes, another prisoner for us, and hopefully even more cash. It seems like the Nords are paying out very, very quickly as well, which is also kind of unusual, because usually, you know, they're gonna take a little bit of time to decide whether to pay the ransom, and then eventually they'll pay one ransom. But it seems like maybe this is a little bit different. Oh, I got shot in the face. Yeah, I got shot in the face. 29 damage. That was actually pretty good shot. Pretty good shot by that Nord veteran archer. So, there is that. There is certainly that. But I think we're pretty good right now. I don't think we have any worries, really. I mean, you know these guys... Oh, wow, we lost a Reformian destroyer? That's not good. That is really, really not good. They take a long time to level up. But, they're receiving reinforcements. Yes, exactly. They are receiving reinforcements. This is actually pretty bad. Now that I think about it, this is actually quite bad, because we don't have that many infantry or cavalry on the battlefield, and they're running in to this pretty awful situation where our crossbowmen are not exactly close enough to really give effective coverage as a support unit, and they are receiving more and more reinforcements. I hope that this is actually the end of their reinforcements. If it's not, and they receive more, then I might actually have to retreat in kind of a tactical maneuver, because you can see here many of our forces are being taken out now because, again, they don't have the support from the crossbowmen, and it's not giving those separate angles of attack, because you know the enemies are not worried about being killed at melee and then also being, you know, shot. So it is providing many more opportunities for the enemy to take us out. But thankfully we do have these cavalry, and the cavalry are really saving us right now, because obviously they're not getting super into combat, you know, they're not getting into melee with the enemy like the infantry are, of course. And yeah, this is what I was talking about before, where having the ability to issue orders to your units after you die in a battle, you know, that would be pretty cool. But I'm happy just to be able to have the diplomacy after battle camera thing, basically, because if I didn't have this, then I wouldn't be able to even see this, and it would just be, you know, kind of a game over kind of state. But anyway, there you go. I think that's it. Yep, I think that is it. Wow, that was pretty good. We actually, I think, won a battle which actually gives us some renown this time around. That's pretty good. Okay, so we did lose 14. We actually lost quite a few pretty decent units as well, but you can see here that we were on an even keel with the amount of units that the enemies had. And oh yeah, you're gonna get taken prisoner. Wow, it seems like we're getting all these guys. I don't exactly know whether there's some kind of magical property currently giving me the ability to take these guys prisoner all the time, but I'm very thankful that they rushed in before Jarl Galad and King Ragnar appeared out of nowhere as well. Anyway, that will be it for this episode. Next time we'll have to deal with these two, and maybe even take Turin Castle. I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.